What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Friday, March 29th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay, who do we have at the point guard position? So right at the top, I love Russell Westbrook. He's been averaging a triple-double, putting up huge numbers, but coming down to the mid-range, I like Trae Young from the Atlanta Hawks playing the Portland Trail Blazers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they're also middle-of-the-pack defending opposing point guards. Trae Young has scored 58, 59, and 42 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 36.9 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 31 minutes per game with a 28% usage rate. You can see his usage rate has been over 34% the last 3 games, playing over 31 minutes a game with a floor of 42. Those are Russell Westbrook-like numbers, and Trae Young is $8,300 DraftKings salary. He's $400 more on FanDuel, projected at 36.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's a low projection. He's going to need about 40 fantasy points to get 5 times value. There's an implied total of 234.5 points in this game. This is a home game, a fast-paced game. Trae Young has been on fire. It's a huge implied total, so I love Trae Young here versus the Portland Trail Blazers. So our DFS tools for MLB Baseball are now live and working. You can click on the MLB tab to change sports and check the tools out for baseball. They're really helpful. They're going to save you guys a ton of research time. We're doing daily videos giving you guys our top MLB DFS picks, so subscribe to this channel and enable the notifications so that you get those. Remember, we added projected ownership, and that will be updating throughout the day as injury news changes. We also added the fantasy points per minute stat here for each player, and we also added a stat that's new to the industry. We call it the hit percentage, and it's the percent chance this player has to hit value at his current DFS salary. And you can access all these new stats even on mobile devices by tapping the dash rank icon. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Klay Thompson from the Golden State Warriors playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they give up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Klay Thompson has scored 19, 31, and 13 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 35 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 34 minutes per game with a 26% usage rate. Klay Thompson is $6,700 DraftKings salary. He's $800 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 35.4 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. Klay has been in a rut, and it only takes one big game to dig himself out of it. He's got a great matchup tonight in a fast-paced game, so I love Klay Thompson. There's an implied total of 229 points in this game here versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I'm kind of going out on a limb here because I'm not certain that he's going to play, but if Nick Batum is active and is going to be in the starting lineup, then I like Nick Batum from the Charlotte Hornets playing the LA Lakers, who have the 5th worst defense overall, and they give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing small forwards. Nick Batum has been out for the past few games, but he averages 24.7 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 32 minutes per game with a 14% usage rate. Nicholas Batum is $4,700 DraftKings salary. He's $500 less on FanDuel, so I love that FanDuel price. That's almost low enough to be your low score drop. projected at 26.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.6 times value. There's an implied total of 226 points in this game. This is a great matchup in a fast-paced game. If he plays tonight, I like his chances to hit value or smash it. So I like Nick Batum here versus the LA Lakers. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, who do we have at the power forward position? This is another player that's kind of risky, but I got a feeling about him tonight. So I like Marcus Morris from the Boston Celtics playing the Indiana Pacers, who have the second best defense overall, and they give up the 13th most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Marcus Morris has scored 28, 25, and 37 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 26.4 fantasy points per game on the season, in an average of 28 minutes per game with a 21% usage rate. Marcus Morris is $5,700 DraftKings salary. He's $500 less on FanDuel, so I love that FanDuel price. Projected at 25.7 fantasy points here tonight. He's going to need about 28 fantasy points to hit 5 times value. This is a home game, a fast-paced game. Marcus Morris has scored 37 fantasy points in his last 2 games versus Indiana Pacers. So maybe he likes playing this team. Let's see if he can do it again. I like Marcus Morris here versus the Indiana Pacers. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Enes Kanter from the Portland Trailblazers playing the Atlanta Hawks, who have the absolute worst defense overall, and they give up the 11th most fantasy points to opposing centers. Enes Kanter has scored 21, 32, and 21 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 29.1 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 24 minutes per game with a 23% usage rate. Enes Kanter is $5,500 DraftKings salary. He's $400 more on FanDuel, projected at 25.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's a conservative projection because no one knows how many minutes Kanter is going to get in his new role. Last game was a blowout. He's going to need about 27 fantasy points to hit 5 times value. There's an implied total of 234.5 points in this game. That's a huge total. This is a fast-paced game and a fantastic matchup. I like Enes Kanter here versus the Atlanta Hawks. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.